We're collecting up all the hay bales we made in the last episode. We're going to get these transported back to the farm and then stored away in our little loft area. Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to Seasons in the Valley. And we made a decent number of hay bales, not a staggeringly large number. Less than I was expecting us to kind of come out with, looking at them on the trailer. I was hoping we'd get maybe just over a trailer's worth, but it looks like we're going to get under that. We've got one bale that's kind of standing up like a domino there in the corner. Let's go grab that one. And after the problems with the last episode, I have tested the microphone to make sure it's working before we start recording today. So let's see. Oh, just going to start a third row. Actually, that works out quite nicely. I get one bale left over like that, because I do want to try the wrap test. Now, a few people have told me that you can wrap hay bales. I kind of like to see it. So we'll take that one loose bale that's left on the top row there, and we'll give that one a bit of a wrap just to see what it looks like. We'll also change the colour of our wrapping as well. We'll do it in a light green so that we can identify it as hay as opposed to silage. I mean, all the bales that we've done in white, we've marked those in white. They're going to be sold, but we are going to do some black wrapped silage bales. They're ones we're going to keep, and those ones will go towards a TMR mix as and when we do start looking at potentially getting cows. And if it gets to the point where cows are too far away, we can always sell those bales. You see, we're really struggling to get any kind of speed up here. Probably should have brought the other tractor up for this. Really struggling, and that's not a particularly steep hill, as you saw there. That's a pretty shallow incline. We've got a really steep one coming up just here. So this could be a real problem, actually. Let's see just how bad it actually gets. And I've also been weighing up the possibility of buying this field with the potential income we might make from bales, and then converting it into a crop field afterwards, and putting a crop on it next year. I think it's probably a little bit too expensive for us to justify that, but oh, look at this. Barely struggling, really struggling. We're barely making it up the hill, but we are still moving. That's the important thing. Looks like we crested the worst of it. Starting to gain just a fraction more speed now. And there we go. We're starting to come away from the really steep incline that we're on. Luckily, I don't see any cars in the mirror behind us, although given the angle that we're at, it's a little hard to tell. Plus we have those bales, which doesn't make it easy as well, but I don't see anything behind us, so I don't think we held anyone up. Right, so I'm going to need the help menu for this. So I'll quickly turn that on, just so I can remember the controls for actually unloading the bales where I want them to go. I want to see if I can maybe lift them all the way up to the top level. I don't think we're going to have the height reach to do that, in which case we'll have to look at maybe using a front loader to do that, or possibly even getting a telehandler. You never know, we have that option as well. But let's pull up just here. See the trailer just sliding just a second there. Right, so we want to unload the bales. Need to pop out of this. No, we can't go high enough, as you can see. Look. Alright, that's a shame. Alright, let's get them back on the trailer. Abort unloading. There we go. The other option we've got, we could be a little bit cheaty, is we could actually drive in and then reset the trailer, because we're never going to be able to back that thing out of there again. We could kind of, drive up into the top section and then unload the trailer up there and then reset the trailer back down onto the ground level. But that kind of defeats the whole point of having the skid steer. So I don't really want to do that. Plus, I don't really want to get in the habit of resetting a vehicle just to kind of cheat my way through something. So let's see. Let's unload them here instead. So unload bales here. There we go. Now I need to move this trailer out of the way. So we'll go and park this back up. Actually, no, we won't park it up back in the shed because we still need to get the other bales off the field. So we'll just leave it up here for now. There we go. Oops. Turned a little bit too tightly there. So let's see if we have the reach with the front loader attached. Plus I also need to grab that individual bale anyway. So let's get in here. I don't think we're going to have the reach with this either. In which case we may end up getting a telehandler a little bit earlier than planned. We don't have a huge amount of money left, so I'm wary about spending a lot more. I know we have got money coming to us with our bale income, but even so, there is a limit to how much we can actually take out, and I think we're pretty much pushing that limit as is. I don't think we've got enough. We were talking about a second ago about looking at maybe buying that field. I don't think I can actually afford it, thinking about it, even if I max the loan out. Not at this stage anyway. Maybe once we've sold the bales, depending on how much we get from those, we might be in a kind of an okay position. Alright, so let's go grab that bale wrapper. Like I say, I am curious. I do want to kind of see what they look like, if we can actually wrap them. A few people have said yes, we can definitely do it. And I'm not disputing that fact. I just kind of like to see it for myself. Because, of all the people that have said yes, you can do it, I still haven't seen any pics of people wrapping hay bales. So, I don't know if there's anyone out there who's actually posted footage of hay bale wrapping. So maybe this will be something of a rarity. I'm going to get it. Oh, that's the wrong one. That's the wash station. I want the mechanic station. Which is this one here. There we go. Just need to detach and move away so I don't get caught up in the mechanic area. And let's change the foil colour to light green. It's going to cost us $1,000 to do that. I really do think we might have to put in a toolbox, but we'll stick with the predetermined bay so far. Hopefully, if we get an update to this map in the future, that'll actually get removed, the charge option. Oh, it's turned into a grass bale, look. Or is that just the animation that's changed it to a grass bale? I guess we'll find out in a second. Right, so we need to break out the Wopster and scan the bale. Oh, it is hay, look. It is actually a hay bale. Okay, well, that's kind of... Now I'm wondering whether or not I should wrap all of these bales. I kind of want to. Rather than leaving them like that, I kind of want to get them all wrapped like that. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to wrap all of these bales. It's going to take an age to do, so I'll get them all wrapped, and then once that's done, we'll restack them up, and then we'll come back. So I'll see you in just a moment. Okay, so the bales are all stacked. Now it's time to see if we do actually have the reach, and I don't think we're going to, but you never know. we'll start with the individual one on the top. Do we have the reach to actually get it up onto the top there? Well, our arms are pretty much fully extended, so, and no, we don't. So we are going to need a telehandler. I kind of figured we probably would do. Okay, so let's check our finances. How much money do we have left that we can take out? Probably not a huge amount, but it should be enough to be able to buy a telehandler. We will recoup a lot of this money. So we can go up to 910. That's way more than we need. Let's drop it down to about 150 for now. So, I guess we're making a trip over to the store to collect another piece of equipment. We're going to just jump there this time so we can actually drive the equipment back rather than driving all the way up there. We got a really, really nice price on soybean. It's just a shame we only have about 4,000 litres to sell, but that's a really good price on soybean. I want to check the... Oh yeah, it's the best possible price, look. Well, if we get prices like that next summer, or, you know, once we actually have a crop in that we can sell, we could make quite a nice little bit of cash. Anyway, let's jump over to the store. So there's a few different things that we can look at in here. First off, we want the New Holland telehandler for obvious reasons, which is all the way down over here. So we want one of those. I'm also thinking one of those is going to be, you know, kind of a necessity for us. So I'm going to buy one of those. And what I'm also going to do is we have a new weight which has gone live. A new modded weight. It's this. This is a fantastic 2,500 kilo weight that we can attach to the back of telehandlers and wheel loaders, and it also has a tow hook attached to the back, so we can also then use this to pull trailers, etc. We're going to buy one of those. And we want the Manitou design, because that's the same kind of design as the New Holland that we have. I think. Actually, I'm guessing that's a wheel loader, and that's for telehandler. Let's go with the Manitou version. Hopefully that is the right one. Let's make our way around the corner. And check that out. So we should be able to connect up to this thing like this. Alright, weight is attached. You can see it's actually pulling the back of the wheel loader down just a little bit. That's good. That's a good counterbalance weight there. See, the lights are working. No indicators on that. Oops. But we do have working reverse lights. Only, by the look of it, actually. And there we go, we have a brand new piece of equipment for our farm. It's a pretty expensive piece of equipment just for bale work, but we are going to need it in the future. We're going to be doing quite a bit of baling, both grass bales and hay bales and silage bales and straw bales in the autumn. So it is something that we are going to probably really need. And we can also hopefully use this to tow the trailer, the auto-load trailer, now that we have this hook attachment on the back. Just went underneath the road there. But you can see we have the hook attachment at the back of the weight there, in the centre of it. That'll allow us to actually connect up to our bale trailer, or it should do, in theory. Obviously we'll test that when we get closer. You can see we've got some trees here that are growing quite nicely there. Didn't realise that we had saplings on that part of the map just there. Seeing all these trees here, we've got quite a lot of wood that we can work with over the winter to try and raise some additional funds as well, pay back a large amount of this loan. We're not going to go over the top with logging, we're not going to, you know, earn excessive amounts, but a couple $100,000 I think would be a very nice little income boost. I want this to be a proper farm rather than a logging operation that kind of does a little bit of crop work as well. And I think if, you know, the forest adds a lot of character. If we remove too much of the forest too soon, it's just going to open up big open areas where it's going to lose a whole chunk of character off this map. So we'll do little bits here and little bits there, just to kind of top our money up as and when we need to, or if we need to work on expanding our land holdings a little bit. We've got an absolute ton of fields that we can buy. There's no need for us to go off and create, you know, big custom fields just yet. That's kind of a few years down the line, I think. Obviously we've got that massive forest below the sawmill there, you know, which we could combine with quite a lot of other fields at the ends. But we have no holdings over there. We have no land over there. It just seems like, why would we attack over there? Those few trees on the edge of field 51 leading up to field 50, I do kind of want to work some of those a little bit if I can, because I think those could be, you know, easily removed and allow us to extend field 52 just a little bit down and try and straighten out that line between 52 and 50. But here we go, we have our brand new telehandler. I don't know why the lights are on. I'll turn those off. Right, so what I want to do is try and lift these up. I think I've caught the bales next door, haven't I? Yep, just a touch. Push those back out the way a little bit. Oh, come on, easy, careful. A little bit too close. There we go. They're a little bit too tightly stacked. That's not good. Alright, but we can now lift these up here. I need to get some more height on the camera. Oh, that's steep. I'll push them in a little bit so they're a little bit more secure. Release the clamp. There we go, it's the first stack up there. So look how high that claw has to go just to get up there. I was not expecting it to need to stretch quite that far. Let's get the next stack up there. This could take a while to get all of these up there. We've still got the silage bales that we need to clear off the field as well. And this is going to be messy, so I need to rethink how I'm attacking these. I might need to bring the trailer back round and tidy these up again. Yeah, I think I'll do that. So let's square everything off again. Let's get the camera focused on the vehicle rather than the front loader tool. Go grab the trailer. We'll get these squared up, and I think maybe I'll try moving them slightly differently this time. Try stacking them from the ends rather than the sides. Maybe that'll work a little bit better for us. So the great thing about this trailer is that it has quite a wide pickup reach. I know we decided to keep it based on your feedback. You overwhelmingly wanted to keep this to raise that up. There we go. But we just have to get close to these bales and look, and it just automatically just picks them all up like that. Let's move back onto the trailer. Stack them there. Move this out of the way. It's a shame we don't have more bales really, but what I'm going to try and do this time is attack from this angle. This might work a bit easier when it comes to actually lifting the bales out. Trying to avoid running over the chickens, they're not making it easy for me. So if we hook in like that, raise up. Yeah, I think this is definitely going to be a much easier way of doing this. Just want to be a little bit more careful with the positioning. There we go. Now I can take all 4 of those up, and we shouldn't have any weight balance issues thanks to our new 2,500 kilo weight on the back. Although, yeah, we are getting a little bit of lean. Ooh, look at that. Look at that roll there in the suspension, as we are really kind of pushing it a little bit. Ooh, I've gone too high. Ooh. Can you imagine us trying to do this without this rear weight? Oh god, that would be a nightmare. And we're still catching on that ceiling. Need to get under that first, I think. There we go. Now we can straighten the hook. There we go. Excellent. There we go. That's definitely going to work out easier to stack these, I think. So we can do the same again here. Let's get the claw down at a low level. Get the line right. Have to be a little bit more precise with our steering inputs with the arm extended quite so far out. Oops. There we go. So once again, we'll get this positioned. Oops. Bring that down a bit. Inside the awning. There we go. Now we've got room to pivot the claw. Excellent. There we go. Well, that was much easier than the original stack of 4 that we did. And a lot faster as well. So I need to figure out where I'm going to store this. I'm guessing the best place to store this is going to be somewhere down on the ground, but is that our skid steer? Yeah, I think we'll move the skid steer out of here and we'll store the telehandler in there. But for now, actually no, I kind of like the idea of having the tools in here with a big pile of wood. This kind of makes sense. Maybe we'll find somewhere else with the telehandler, which I think I need to turn off. Yes, I do. Now the bale spike for this is just a single spike. Let's see if we can maybe get something that's a little bit more useful for multiple stacks. So we've got this bale fork extra elevation that we could use. Yeah, because the Kotec claw doesn't apply to skid steers. Which is a bit of a shame, but you can understand it because of the weight issue. Let's try for a little while using the standard bale spike that we get for skid steers. But we can always look at maybe upgrading to the CSZ one. In fact, also, since the CSZ pack has been updated, there are supposedly now new auto stacking options in here. I'm not seeing them. These supposedly are supposed to now have auto stack. Maybe I'm looking in the wrong place. Oops. There just seems to be a little lip just there that we have to raise the arm up as we come through. It's just something to be wary of. Right, so we've got our bale spikes. Let's start repositioning some of these bales. Can we get two at once? There's the question. I think if we're careful with our placement, we might be able to lift two. If I can get this in at the right angle. Yes, we can. And it's not too heavy. Oh, no, the bottom one dropped off. Okay, so two might be a little bit of a push. I think we're going to be sticking with just the one bale. We could always try and lift two by just grabbing the bottom one and balancing the first one, but if it wobbles, it's just going to fall off. I think this is going to be a single stack at a time kind of job. And this is why I'm not a big fan of spikes like this, because they go in and then they don't come back out easily enough. You end up dragging the bale back with you again. It might be that we don't actually use, we might just use the telehandler up here as well. It's got the four-wheel steering, which does make it quite manoeuvrable. I think that's starting to look like a more attractive option. Maybe just keep this for logging. Let's see what we're like movement-wise up here. Let's move this out of the way. We've got a ladder over here we can pop down. There it is. Let's see just how much room we have to maneuver up here with this thing, with its four-wheel steering. It might still be a little bit tight, but I get the feeling it might well be a better option. Raise the claw. Pull the wheelie there as we hit that ramp. This is going to be really, really tricky to do this. Can I do this in first person? That's the next question. If I can, it would certainly help. Might have to do a bit of juggling between first and third person here. This seems to work. So let's try stacking against that wall there. So I need to move that bale out of the way. This is the side of baling that I don't really tend to do that often. I mean, I don't tend to do bales, but normally, you know, I'll just use an auto stacker to place them. You know, like the 16 bale, you know, Arkisin auto stack, and I'll just, you know, put the stacks against each other, and that'll be it. I don't tend to store bales because we have a bale limit. I've never really bothered with bale storage. You know, I've always kind of just made bales and then sold them, or just kept them stacked up against a wall somewhere. I don't generally tend to do it like this, so this is kind of a bit of a learning thing for me here as well. I think we can get neater than that, but it'll do for now. Try and get the rest of these bales stacked up here. Great demand for the wood chips. Okay. It's going to be a terrible price. It's possibly the worst price we could get. Look at that. That's terrible. So yeah, we'll definitely be hanging on to that, because even if it goes up massively, which it won't go up that high, it certainly won't go up enough to justify selling them. So we'll continue to hang on to our wood chips until such a time as the price is really nice. So these bales are going to look pretty wonky at first, but I'm hoping that I can give them a little nudge to straighten them all up at the end. At the very least I can do some of that right now. Did not mean to spike that bale. There we go. Ugh, so much hassle just to get a few hay bales stored up here. I'm starting to think bales are not worth the effort. There we go, that's a little bit better. Try and get away from the wall if I can. There we go. Let's get the next stack. Yeah, this is a really, really time-consuming job. It's probably not making very good viewing either, so I do apologise if this is a little bit tedious to watch. It's certainly a little bit tedious to do, but it is something that I do think, you know, needs to be seen once, just for the experience of actually trying to do this like this, and then we'll probably never show this ever again. There we go. So, a reasonably neat-ish looking kind of stack. Not amazingly good, but not bad. Let's try and be a little bit clever with our stacking now. It's awkward because I don't have great camera options up here. I don't have a lot of visibility. There's the proximity of the ceiling and the walls and all that, but hopefully I can do a nice little bit here. Oh, grab that first one a little bit too much. Again, we might need to give these a little bit of a nudge at the end. Ooh, a little bit too high there, catching on the rafters. That's clunky. Alright. So, with that one done... Ooh, I just jumped out against the wall there. Let's move this out of the way. Just there will do. I've got this one bale left over. I'm going to try and use this to straighten the other ones up. But, yeah, I'm not a big fan of this bale spike that comes standard with skid steers. Just move the bale forward a little bit, give me a bit more room to position. Yeah, it just doesn't seem a particularly good bale spike in my opinion. Right, they don't want to push together any closer. At least not at the lower level anyway. This is where I'm taking a bit of a risk. I'll try and use this bale to square up the other ones. Seems to have worked actually. Yeah, that's worked. Alright, can I get this on the top? Or is that too high for our little... It's too high for our little skid steer. I'm not going to take any silly risks. Just going to plonk that down just here. Alright, so no more spiking really with the skid steer. I think we'll just do it all with the telehandler. That seems to be the most effective option. So I'll keep hold of the spike just in case we need it for emergencies, but I have no real plans to use this spike again. I think we'll just keep this purely as a logging skid steer. So let's go stick that back in its little cupboard. There we go. Right. Let's close the doors on that. We still have silage bales to go and collect, but I do want to quickly check. That's quickly. That's very quickly. If we're doing it quickly, that's very quickly. I want to I want to check these bales here. So 24 hours left on these bales here. Look. Before we can sell those. The other ones will probably be a bit less than that. Yeah, quite a bit less than that. We need the auto stack trailer, don't we? First of all. Oh yeah, here's an opportunity for us to actually test out whether or not our skid steer can pull the auto stack trailer. Make our way out. Ooh, this could be awkward getting in and out of here this way. We are kind of catching on the roof and the floor at various different points, so we need to be careful with that. Might be easy to reverse out of there. I think the trailer is still down here, isn't it? The tractor's hooked up to it, I believe. Yeah, it is. So we'll have to disconnect the T6. Move that out of the way. Just that'll do for now. Oh, there we go. Look at that. That's fantastic. So let's go grab ourselves some silage bales. We'll get those stacked up with the ones that we're looking to sell. And we'll sell all of them in one big go. We're not going to sell them, in stages. We're just going to sell them all at once. Oh, look how bumpy this road is on our little skid telehandler here. Even at really slow speeds, it's just all over the road. Of course, that weight pulling the front wheels up probably doesn't help in this situation. But it is something that we need. Really struggling to get it there. I'm wondering actually if we're going to have the horsepower to pull this back into the yard once it's fully loaded, or at least up that dirt road anyway. Kind of wedged on the gate there. Oh no. Made a right mess of this. At least get around. Kind of driving into the crop there. That's a little bit clumsy and careless of me, but hopefully the wheels didn't actually get in there, so we haven't damaged the crop. It doesn't look as though we've done any damage, which is good. It's just the back part of the trailer itself. There we go, into collect mode. You know what this really does? Actually make collecting a lot easier. I've not minded doing the stacking manually, but yeah, having this ability to just drive past them and they're automatically appearing on the trailer, it does make things a lot easier. And I was kind of unsure about it when we first used this a couple of episodes ago, but I think I'm kind of glad that we are keeping it now, actually. Or at least keeping it with the auto stack feature. You see, that's something that we can choose to turn on or off, but oh, come on, we can make this turn. Oh, this is not good. Trying to turn it a little bit too tightly. The weight got caught there by the look of it. There we go. Let's tag that last bale there. I've got this one over here. There's the gate. There's the gate. I don't know if we can make it up this hill. I really don't. I think it might... Oh, wow, that weight is really causing us some problems now. Trying to take it carefully around here. Don't want inertia to kind of send us careering off into our crops. Can we make it up here? It's a bit of a struggle, but we are making it. We need to go left. Just simply because it's flatter ground. Going back up a hill that way. And we're only going to have to come back down again. So we'll just go on the flat bit over here. Or the flatter bit. Hope that it's not too rough. Seems to be getting through okay. There we go. We'll go and get these positioned over by the other ones. Get a nice big set of bales all stacked up, and then we'll see where we are once that is done. Okay, so I've removed the rear weight for a little bit of better, control with my steering. And what I'm finding is that this is actually quite easy to reverse using the telehandler, because of the four-wheel steering, I can make little corrections without sending this thing veering off at a really sharp angle. Like that. I can pivot the front axle quite quickly. So I just need to kind of get it straight and lined up, because what I want to do is, I actually took, there were 5 bales left there on the left hand side. I've moved 2 of them over there, as you can see, balancing on our T6. The other 3 are now part of this stack, and the reason for that is so that I can now drop this stack right next to those ones. I don't want to get too close, don't want to cause some collisions with the bales. Let's drive that forward just a touch. But I figured if we keep these stacks together, it means I can back a trailer up here and automatically just pick up a full stack. So let's unload bales here. There we go. We'll pull the trailer out, and we now have 2 full stacks plus 2 leftover bales that are going to be much easier to kind of collect. We can just back the trailer up here. It'll automatically scoop up, hopefully, an entire pack of bales like this, and then we have a second one just there as well. Let me just scan these ones. You can see we've got 38 hours left on those ones there. So there we go. That is our sort of baling adventure come to a close for the rest of this particular day. Let's see, with an overview of our crops and fields, where are we in terms of growth? It looks like we're in the final stages of growth now for these fields here. I wonder if that means they're ready for fertilising. Let's quickly... Actually, no, they should already be at stage 3. Yeah, they are. It's just we're waiting on this field here, field 2, and that's already fully fertilised as well. So, yeah, we're kind of waiting for this grass to grow in, so we can mow that. We've done this grass field and this grass field. We don't actually own any more grass. Obviously, we've already done our cow area as well. This is the one field we have left, and then we're waiting for our crops to grow. So if we look at the kind of prediction, we're not looking at getting wheat or barley or canola actually ready to harvest for another 2 days yet. We're towards the end of day 2 here. So we've got days 3 and 4 to go before we should be in a position before we can actually start harvesting. But hopefully, come the end of summer, we'll actually be ready. So what we might do is we might go off and actually just mow and bale some verges in the next episode. We'll see what there is to do. Might do something else. We'll see how that goes. But that's the end of another episode of Seasons in the Valley. So thanks for watching. I'm Jim Bob, and we'll be back with another episode very soon.